Video here, and basically it's going to go like this. What's the simplest way to tell if something is good or bad? Okay. And simply put, if you're not thinking about your fingers, then this means that they are good. You have good fingers. Okay. Now, the opposite of that, and a prime example would be, how would you know if you had a bad finger? Well, if you were swinging a hammer and you were doing some roofing or nailing or something or framing, and you whacked your fingers with the hammer or your thumb, well, obviously your thumb would hurt. Now this is on your mind and this becomes a bad thumb. Okay, people, you follow me? It's just that simple. It's like for example, like a lot of people too, like how do you know there's spiritual energy out there? Okay. And so effectively put, how would you know, just give me a second here, please. How would you know if good spirits or bad spirits are trying to use you? Okay, we've all heard the term people. Some people are possessed. They've been possessed. Okay, well, geez, I wonder why. Okay, and so these spirits they can drop email bombs into your head, making you think that these are your thoughts. But meanwhile, they're not your thoughts. They're coming from an outside source. Okay, albeit whatever the source may be. So, for example, how do I know if I'm being used by good spirits or bad spirits, or how would you know? Well, the easiest way to detect this is, are you happy and are you not thinking about this? Okay? Thinking has two words, thin and king. So you're not as king, you're a thin king, okay? You're always of the mind, okay? And effectively put, you're supposed to be of no mind. Something that you are not thinking about clearly is a good thing, because otherwise, if you whacked your hand and your fingers were throbbing because you whacked it with a hammer, it would hurt and you would be thinking about this. And so you can see the difference between a good thumb, which you never whacked with your hammer, and a bad thumb, which you accidentally whacked with your hammer. And now your thumb is sore and it's swollen up and it's throbbing. Okay. So this is bad. And back to whether good spirits or bad spirits are using you or not, simply put, like say you see in an emergency or something, somebody's dog needs rescuing, somebody's child fell into the water, the lake, whatever, and you know whether good spirits are simply using you or not, because a good spirit immediately would say, jump in and save that child. Now, a bad spirit would have you getting all emotional and, well, that water might be too cold. I might freeze to death. I might not make it to save that child. And so now you can see that bad spirits are utilizing you. Or if you're sitting there thinking, geez, I should, let's bring harm to somebody or something, or these are bad spirits, simply put, trying to use you. So when you're of the mind, you might not even realize that you're being used because you think that it's your mind. And again, back to simply put, how the simplest way to tell whether something is good or bad or not is if you're not thinking about it, right? If you're thinking about all the bills you have to pay and you're thinking about this, you're thinking about that, right? And everything is a problem and everything is outside of yourself. Well, then now you're going to be of the mind and you're going to be thinking, and this is going to get on your nerves and this will start breaking down your nervous system. Okay, we do have a central nervous system, and that's why the expression, are things getting on your nerves? Okay, so again, if you're not thinking about something, that's a good thing, right? It's almost like, like for example, yes, certain things you have to think about, but you truly do not. It's said out there that you truly do not know anything until you have 10,000 hours of experience in it. Okay. And like a prime example of that would be like, I played guitar for years. I sucked. Right. I'm watching all these other people and they're awesome and they're having fun. And I'm going, geez, how come I'm not having that kind of fun and all that stuff? But effectively put, I didn't have 10,000 hours in it. I was always thinking about what I had to do and what I was going to do next on the guitar. Then eventually it came where I played the guitar so many times that now I barely have to think. I still have to think a little bit, but I mean, I'm not, oh, what am I going to do next? And where am I going after that? And it all just simply goes by the wayside because now you've had so much experience that you don't have to think about it. Okay. So again, I'm just simply using the guitar as was the analogy, hence the guitar, right? So, needless to say, I just thought I would share this video with you because, like, there's so many things that are wrong in life, and effectively put, they want you always thinking about stuff and always in fear of the stuff. And, a prime example is like the news. The news is nothing but pure garbage. They espouse evil every day. Oh, look, this is what's wrong with the world. This is what's going on with the world. And simply put, how come there's not one news channel out there really that offers you the solution and the answers? They never seem to do this. It's always we have to wait till this guy's done in office, and then we're going to vote for the next guy, and then the next guy has to fix this guy's mess. And so now you can see that I'm thinking about things here, and I'm starting to become attached to things that really I should not be becoming attached to, nor should we be participating in. So if we have to think about these things, clearly this is bad stuff. Again, is this good or bad? And simply put, is your thumb throbbing, or and you're thinking about it, or are you not thinking about your thumb? So if you're thinking about the thumb like the government and it's throbbing, well then we have issues here and we have to deal with them. But again, back to the news never offers the solution. And for example, people are scared to offer the solution because they think that they can go to jail, and they probably can, because again, these laws, they're not your friend, they're actually against you. If you don't want to go off to war, well, they'll draft you and say you still don't want to go off to war, well, then they throw you in jail. But meanwhile, you've never did anybody an ounce of harm here. Can you see how already you're not doing anybody an ounce of harm by going off to war, but yet now they're doing you harm and throwing you in jail, and now you're getting pulled away from your family and your children and your friends and your job, and now your wife and kids could lose the house. And you see all this? This is all fear-based, people, and they always want you of the mind thinking about this. But realistically, the solutions are simple. We could be printing off greenbacks, and everything could be covered interest-free. Pay off the old loan with these greenbacks, or here, you want your money back, here's some ones and zeros on the computer, put it on your debit card, take the I out of debit, and you have debt, right? So effectively put, and by the way, we're changing the financial system. You've got your money and you're going to be limited to what you can spend, because we can't have you people running around buying private islands and jets and having stuff that other people simply don't have access to. You follow me? So they're living high on the hog and we're not, okay? So anyhow, people, I just wanted to share this with you. This is the simplest way to know whether something is good or bad for you. If you're not thinking about it, it's a good thing, okay? And if you are thinking about it, well, clearly that's not good, and you're thinking, and you're a thin king, and it's getting on your nerves, and it's getting on your nervous system, and people are running around like zombies, and they're running around sick, and they're hooked on substances, and the whole nine yard goes on for months and days. And why would people be hooked on this stuff? Because their lives are miserable, and they feel that they need this. It gives them a moment of clarity that otherwise they wouldn't have enjoyed. And you can see that if we had a happier society, people wouldn't need these dopamine rushes to be getting involved and hooked on this stuff, okay? Clearly, you can see how easy things are, and the solution is always simpler than the problem. The author of confusion, it is said, is evil. It's Satan, and people are the distributors of it. So if we don't distribute what they're dishing out, well, then clearly their gig is up. You follow me, people? You don't like Walmart, you want to support local businesses, don't shop at Walmart. You don't even have to get up off your ass to hop in your car to go there. All you have to do is nothing. And this is the power of doing nothing unless you see harm being brought to somebody. You don't stand there and go, hi, we got you on camera here, we're filming your misdeeds. No, you simply stop this, people, right? And actions speak louder than words. Talk is cheap, silence is golden, man, okay? But again, actions speak louder than words. They speak volumes, okay? Volume, loud, right? Synonymous, whatever, right? So anyhow, people, I hope this video finds you well. I'm probably not going to do videos for a while. I've done enough on money and the spiritual trap and to watch out on all this stuff. So if you want, you can see these. You can clearly look these up, and you'll see them on my sites or whatever. I'm not looking for followers. I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking for that. Personally, I'm subscribed from my channel too, right? Unsubscribe from people's bullshit, okay? That's how simple it is. And you don't even have to be involved. You don't like Walmart? Don't shop there. You know what I mean? And so back to whether it's a good thumb or it's a bad thumb or it's a good spirit trying to use you or a bad spirit, you can see, bad spirits will tell you to bring harm to people and to join wars and to steal from people is where, simply put, otherwise you wouldn't be thinking about that. And that's the easiest way to tell if it's good, right? And you're not being used as the conduit or the vehicle to go out and do harm and misdeeds to people and stuff, okay? People, you savvy, you follow me on this? Things are rather simple. And even back to the news, we don't need this. All these channels of death and destruction and deceit and politicians stealing from people. And do you people really need to hear this? Stop supporting their system. Literally, stop supporting it. Go and arrest these people, bring them no harm, throw them in jail, be done with it, and let's all go live a happy friggin' life, for God's sakes, okay? It's that simple, and not have to be worried or thinking about these things, okay, people? So anyhow, I hope this video or these videos find you well. I truly do. I love you all. I send you all green lights, and rock and roll. That's about all I can say. But anyhow, till then, please, love your neighbor, have compassion for these people, and try to stay true and genuine. That's all I can say. So anyhow, now I'm just babbling. I love you all. Till then, keep your heads up and your sticks on the ice. Cheers. Bye.